Valentinesdate. Ein Kostory One-Shot von Likekostory. Costa's point of view. And mates, how about you? Do you already have someone you'll spend Valentine's Day with? My sister asked the group, and nobody really felt addressed. I actually went to ask Mick. I stammered in response, and suddenly all eyes were on me. Mick? You mean the popular one? Listen, Costas, that shouldn't sound pejorative or anything, but he's really just too big for you. Well, he only goes out with people who have a certain number of friends anyway. I quickly shook my head before I leave the table. We'll see, I said, heading for my locker as I ran into someone, and as a result, the two of us landed on the floor. Oh shit, sorry. I didn't see you, I said quickly. Alright, it was my fault. I said mine opposite, and now I saw who I ran into. It was Mick. He straightened up first and gave me his hand, which I accepted with thanks. Thanks, and again, sorry, Mick, I stammered to myself. No problem, Costas. He knew my name? What? Where from? He was a class above me, and we never really had anything to do with each other. I looked at him, a little confused, which he noticed, and only replied, I know the names of all the cute boys at school. I blushed and turned a little away from him. He just smiled at me and just wanted to keep walking. Well then, see you. Mick, can I ask you something? I stammered, and he turned back to me. Sure, what's up? Well, I was wondering if you maybe... But then my confidence left. It doesn't matter, I said and went past him as quickly as I could, to my next class. For this, I caught a confused look from him and felt his eyes on me all the time until I was out of his sight. Fuck, now I have no chance. Now he thinks I'm a confused little creep, which I actually am. But oh my gosh, he called me cute. Mick called me cute. Okay, very calm down, Costas. You still have to get through the last 2 periods. Then you can freak out. The next day, I came to school a little bit late and hurried accordingly. So I ran into someone again, and guess what? It was Mick. Again. This time, however, we were not sitting on the floor, just standing there laughing, and I could feel that I was blushing. Again, that must be fate, that we almost always run into each other. Is it? Is it fate? The universe wants to give me a second chance to ask him? To be honest, I regretted not asking him yesterday, that I could have hit myself. Right. Well, Mick, I want to ask you something. But then the doorbell rang, and I had German. Well, the teacher is always on time. Fuck, I'm sorry, I have to go to German class. And before you could say anything, I was already gone. Man, now you've screwed it up. Valentine's Day is Friday and it's Wednesday. Please, universe, give me another chance. Let me always crash into him again, so I can ask him, at least that, even if he says no. The day passed pretty uneventfully. I only saw Mick during the break with his friends. But I definitely won't ask him in front of them. I mean, I thought I would be able to get dumped, but in front of all his friends, no thanks. He's also much nicer anyway if you meet him alone. Yes, maybe I've watched him more often over time, but hey, leave me alone. The next day I saw Mick only with his friends, no further crashes with him, nothing. Well, thanks universe, I knew I screwed it up, but 1 chance more wouldn't have been too much. I was just walking out of the school building and wrote to my sister that she was right. Mick was maybe really just too big for me. But before I could send it, I hear someone say, "Caution." I looked up and looked into brown eyes. I jumped back, and when I realized who those eyes belonged to, I almost jumped back even more. Did I scare you? He laughed a little, and I just nodded, and probably blushed a little. Are you going home? Again, I just nodded. Then I'll go with you, he said, walking strangely in the right direction. We walked silently, side by side, until Mick started a conversation. You wanted to ask me something yesterday, he said and looked at me. Well, actually, I took a deep breath. This is the chance you were waiting for, Costas. Don't screw it up again. Actually, I just wanted to ask you if you already have a Valentine's Day date. But, well, it's probably too late now anyway. And I don't know. We don't know each other, actually, and it wasn't a stupid idea to ask you. I rattled off until he started to laugh. Was he just laughing at me? I looked at him in horror. Next time, you should just ask Costas. That would be a lot easier. I haven't had one yet, but that has apparently changed now. What would you like to do? I stopped a little shocked to process what he had just said, which made him laugh even more. What you want? I replied, embarrassed, and he only said, okay, then give me your number and I'll let you know when and where we meet. I nodded and gave him my number. Then he said goodbye to me with a hug, and I deleted the message I had to my sister. Instead I wrote, I have a date with Mick, you were wrong, and went home with a grin on my face.